Is it possible to become a spiritual influencer in 27 days? That is what I am going to be addressing on today's episode of Looking Glass, Pressured to Prosperous, the podcast for entrepreneurial artists who want to be fully self-supporting through their creative ventures. I'm Joanna Garzali, award-winning author of Big Miracles, the 11 Spiritual Rules for Ultimate Success. I have been in the self-help industry and the realm of spirituality for over 25 years. And when I saw what I am about to share with you, I have to admit that I felt triggered because my gut instinct was, this is wrong. And I'm going to show you the red flags. I'm going to explain to you why I think it is important to be patient and trust the process, even when one doesn't want to have to wait and you want to get to where you want to get to quickly. And I'm going to share with you what I think does work and also what has worked for me from experience. I'm going to give you a couple of different examples. And this can apply not just to being a spiritual influencer. It could be your path as a writer or an actor or a director or launching your own creative company. But I am using this example today that I am about to go ahead and share with you. When I was on Instagram earlier today, this sponsored ad popped up. There was an image of this very glamorous woman wearing a gorgeous sparkling dress with a plunging neckline, her hair done sort of like Marilyn Monroe. She has a podcast microphone hanging on one of those sturdy arms, and there's candles and there's flowers, and the background is this gorgeous cityscape. It looks somewhere like New York, somewhere in a condo or an apartment building that costs a lot of money. The headline is How to Become Known as a Spiritual Influencer. And I have to say, when I first saw this image, I thought, gosh, that's absolutely beautiful. And I was intrigued. Then as I began to read, it made me go and click on the ad because I wanted to know who would be advertising such a thing and was there more to it? And then it says, I'm starting again from zero. Over the next 27 days, I'm building a new brand from the ground up. And at that point, I just thought, WTF, this is ridiculous. But I thought, Joanna, don't be judgmental here. Just look a little bit deeper. And so I'll continue. It says, I'm going to document the entire thing and literally film every day for 27 days straight. Okay. And then she says, want to come behind the scenes and look over my shoulder as I build it? You'll see exactly how I build a brand, build an audience, get customers, all while starting over in a market where nobody knows me. Interested? That really pissed me off. People who do the spiritual work, truly do spiritual work, who are out there, who have written books in their space, or they have their healing communities, they're teaching workshops. Spirituality comes from within them, emanates from within them. I'm going to explain the pieces to this and what I want you to be careful of as you are putting yourself out there as an artistic entrepreneur. And so it says, click this post and you can learn more about it on the next page. And from there, I thought, let me look at some of these comments that are here in this ad. I see someone here that says, spiritual influencer just hits different from your regular old influencers. I should know. I've only been doing it for 8 years. I don't like this because it's sort of, how can I stand out? How can I just pick a niche to be even more defined? when it's not truly your niche. He said you may be able to give the image of a spiritual influencer, but the reality is it takes years of doing the inner work to have genuine spiritual impact. I agree with a number of the comments here. I understand you're teaching marketing, but something sits so out of alignment with picking this topic and time frame. And then let me just go to some of the other comments here. This person, Know Thyself Blueprint, says, training, spiritual, and influencer all in one sentence, red flag for sure. We're inundated with spiritual drunkards. Please go and put the work in on yourselves and leave the real work to those who need no training. And I resonate with that wholeheartedly. She says, after retiring my previous brand, I've decided I'm starting again from scratch. And then here it is. This is my most ridiculous offer ever. I'll coach you every day for 27 days for $27. Now, going back to the Instagram chat, there was someone who was asking about the program. And if you have been in the realm of coaching for a number of years, you're going to know that there's this whole thing where you get put through a funnel and you start off for free, and then you go into a $27 product, then you get upsold into, say, a $147 product, then you go into maybe $1,000 plus product. I wanted to cover this topic as well because I know for myself for many years, I held this belief that it is unspiritual to be paid for spiritual work. And this goes in line as well with when you're creating art, you are a starving artist. And prior to working in the healing arts, and for myself being in the entertainment industry as well, I've produced movies, I've produced television, I've been an on-camera TV host as well. I've done some acting and also worked in finance. And I just say all of this just to give some context to this idea around certain industries where it is or isn't okay to make money. I'm not saying it isn't okay to make money. I just feel that this is really preying upon people. So she says, her name's Marina Di Giovanni from Sydney, Australia. And then it goes into her whole origin story, which is today marks the 10-year anniversary of her saying goodbye to her 9-to-5 career. I think she's sitting at her desk thinking back on her journey and how hard she worked to build a multi-million-dollar business. She does say here, it reminds her of this famous quote, 10 years of trying will eventually make you look like an overnight success. The truth is nobody is an overnight success. She goes on to say, my new brand will soon be seen as an overnight success. Yeah, she's going into a niche where nobody knows her and she's starting getting customers from zero. I'm currently in a program where I am learning more about marketing, putting oneself out there. I'm in this accelerator with Kevin Schmidlin called Grow the Show. And how I originally came across Kevin was Instagram or Kevin's ad that spoke so directly to me. It felt sincere. It didn't make any false promises. The focus was just, I'm going to teach you how to grow your show. It felt right. I'm very particular and savvy to when I am being sold to. I got on a discovery call with Kevin and he didn't try to sell me anything. We just talked and I knew that I was going to go ahead and do his program. And I signed up on the spot. It is 6 months since I've been in his program and I have no regrets. There are times when I have gone ahead and tried to learn certain marketing things and have been so disappointed. This has not been the case at all. I thought I was going to learn about how to become a strong podcaster so that I don't go through pod fading. And in that process, as I went through all the different exercises with him, I experienced a deep personal spiritual transformation, spiritual growth that I did not expect to go through. And I have been teaching about spiritual growth for over 25 years. I just wanted to give context these 27 days that Marina is teaching. I was curious to know how she has grown this so rapidly. And I think the important context here is that Marina has already gone, from what I can see and understand about marketing, whether you do things organically or paid, you pay to play. There's nothing wrong with that. I just feel that this is being done in a way that is not helpful for people. She's leveraging off of when she says she's going from zero, Marina is plowing money into ads where she has grown her following and she is boosting all her posts. And then she's saying, look at me go from zero. Isn't entirely true. She is leaving out steps in the process. I feel the underlying energy of Marina's offering is like the Pied Piper. It's treating people like cattle. I just feel that marketing to people to become a spiritual influencer, especially when they don't have the experience. I'm not saying don't go and monetize your artistic endeavors. What I'm saying is making this get rich quick, because that really is what she's doing, and saying, pick this niche. You don't know what to do, just go into spirituality. But the reality is that it takes years of doing the inner work and working with clients or teaching people in workshops, at live events, through writing, journaling, many different tools. I have seen more and more people popping up online where it's just a few pretty Instagram photos, then some little quotes, and you can use AR. You don't just suddenly become a great actor. You have to go and do all the research and keep putting the work up and keep practicing with different scene partners and then looking at your work and doing some more. And it is the same with spirituality. It is a spiritual practice. With this idea of, oh, I'm just going to be a spiritual influencer, I just don't like it being used that way. And so let's just take a moment to break down, what is she doing here? I mean, at the end of the day, there is no quick fix. This idea of making millions as a mystic, to me, it is gimmicky sales. I am tired of seeing spirituality become a fashion accessory. I love Chanel. I love Gucci. I adore fashion. My issue is that when then spirituality is being used as a label to come across in a certain way, and it is navel gazing, it is superficial. True spiritual work is not airy-fairy. You have to go deep. It is not for the faint of heart. As an artistic entrepreneur, it is important to be patient. I am naturally a very impatient person. I want to get there quickly. But I can tell you, when I have looked back at my path, it took me 20 years to become a best-selling and award-winning HarperCollins author. I had another book come out that it took me 10 years to create that I'm now making into a movie. These things, they don't happen quickly. I went through huge amounts of rejection before I got to that success. I feel that this idea of, whether it is in this instance here, being a spiritual influencer, it is more about touching lives, transforming lives. If you have a sincere desire to shine your light and help people, isn't that what is rewarding? Now, I talk about this idea of being fully self-supporting through your creative ventures is the emotional fulfillment, not just the money. I will share with you another time my thoughts around what happened when I was so driven. I thought, when I get to making this certain amount of money, then I'll be happy. And this is why I have come around full circle to ensuring that being fully self-supporting through your creative ventures, doing the work you love. And if you have done that work for a period of time, as Malcolm Gladwell talks about in The Tipping Point, where you've done your 10,000 plus hours, then you can become an expert, just being able to help people. And then from there, you find your community. You touch the lives you're meant to touch. So I'm curious to know what you think. In conclusion, I would say there are no quick fixes. There are no shortcuts. If you do the work and you focus on doing that work, you are going to arrive at the success that you desire. But it is important to enjoy the journey. And when you try and take shortcuts and get there quickly, and especially when you pay bigger bucks for that the money that you make or the success that you experience normally ends up leading to your downfall. I have stories to share on that another time. So I encourage you to not focus on influence. I think influence as a word is being overused at this point, and it is being used in a wrong way, although there is a time and a place for it. But at this point, instead of influence, I would encourage you to look at how your art, your projects, the gifts that you have that you are putting out into the world can truly serve others, not this gimmicky, oh, I'm going to serve you. And as you do that, you will be fulfilled. Because if you have a shadow self that has an ulterior motive, even if you get the outer success, you are not going to enjoy the results. Thank you for being here with me today, and you can connect with me on social media at Joanna Garzilli. What are your thoughts on this topic? Let me know in the comments or DM me at Joanna Garzilli, and I look forward to connecting with you next time.